Yo, what's up, guys? So this 2025 summer anime season has been sick. I mean, we've been getting banger after banger, and hey, I watched every first episode of the season, so you don't have to. And I've got them broken down into 4 categories: my must watch, worth a watch, I wanted to like this, and dropped. Now that all said, this is my list. So if you don't like it, hey, that's fair. By all means, go and watch all these anime yourself and make your own decision. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into my must watch of the season. And I'm talking these immediately hooked me and will likely be the ones that are standouts throughout this anime season. First off, we have Dandadan Season 2. We're back and it's wilder than ever, right? The animation is insane, the humor is on point, and the stakes, well, definitely way higher than Season 1. Studio Science Saru is in their bag this season. Now, if you love chaos with a lot of heart, then you're gonna love this next one. My Dress Up Darling Season 2. Marin is back and somehow even more adorable, right? The emotional beats land harder and the cosplay scenes are gorgeously animated. Peak comfort anime. But let's pivot from the rom-com sweetness to a more monstrous hype. Kaiju number 8, Season 2. The first episode wastes zero time. The high stakes action, the deeper character arcs, and the kaiju designs are even better. Studio Project IG is straight cooking with gas for this one. But speaking of relationships under pressure, we have what I would consider to be my favorite romance of the season. The fragrant flower blooms with dignity. Arguably one of the gems of the season, it's a soft, beautifully written romance that handles emotional tension with real maturity. It's basically the anime that's gonna keep asking you, who got you smiling like that? But hey, I get it. Maybe you want something a little bit more gritty, more trashy. If you like Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, this is definitely gonna be your thing. I mean, we got trash-based superpowers, gang culture, and raw world building. Not to mention an MC that's here for all the smoke. Now, Rudo isn't a traditional shonen MC, but this next guy, oh, yeah, he breaks all the mold. Clevitis checks so many boxes. Dark fantasy, check. Menacing anti-hero slash villain, check. Fire opening, triple check. Yo, it's easily one of the most gritty, violent, and real shows of this season. But this next anime is actually making me rethink my stance on horror anime. The Summer Hikaru Died is it. Creepy, tragic, and beautiful. A supernatural bromance twisted with body horror that keeps you guessing. And the added benefit that the show just looks amazing. But of course, speaking of shows that look amazing, I would be remiss if I left this one out. Lord of the Mysteries, a Chinese donghua with next level animation. We're basically talking the love child between steampunk and Lovecraft. Now keep in mind, this is a massive world and it's a very slow burn, so you got to lock in to really get the most out of the show. But I am confident if you stick with it, you're gonna love the payoff. But speaking of payoff, nothing comes close to the emotional payoff that is Takapi's original sin. Now what starts off as a quirky, heartwarming story of an alien trying to spread happiness quickly transforms into a dark, emotionally intense narrative about trauma, abuse, and the limits of good intentions. Now, these shows didn't exactly blow me away, but they're definitely worth keeping tabs on. Think of them as my rainy day watch list. So first off, we have I Was Reincarnated as the 7th Prince Season 2. It's still light, still dumb, still fun, a great power fantasy. Shield Hero Season 4, man, okay, so it's still doing its best to bounce back. We all know Season 3 was not it, but this season actually looks kind of promising. Sakamoto Days Core 2. If you enjoyed Core 1, then congrats, it's more of the same. The action is solid, and yeah, it looks good. Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. Now, this one is here mainly because you have to be tapped into all the other parts of the series to really get the most out of this one. Unfortunately, I missed out on a couple, so yeah, that's why it's here. Water Magician. Visually poetic, and honestly, I would say probably the strongest isekai of the season. Hall of the Night Season 2. Stylish as ever, vampires, neon lights, chill vibes. What more could you really ask for? With You and the Rain, pure slice of life greatness with some solid comedy and a very low-key and wholesome atmosphere. Dr. Stone Science Future Core 2. So yeah, more of the same, right? If you enjoy watching Senku go out to rebuild humanity, then yeah, you're gonna enjoy more of this. Hell Teacher. So this is a throwback and the nostalgia bells are ringing. So it's spooky, it's fun, and yeah, if you were into the original, then you're definitely gonna love the remake. Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. Same chaotic energy, now even weirder. Studio Trigger is doing their unhinged thing once again. Omio Kaiten Rebirth Verse. A fun shonen mixing the vibes of Twin Star Exorcist with ReZero. Now that all said, everything in the worth a watch category does have the capability of making it into the must watch category, but ultimately time will tell, and so we just gotta let these anime cook for a little bit longer. As for this next category, the anime had all the right ingredients, but many of them just didn't cook properly. Now that said, I'm not completely giving up on these anime. I will tune in from time to time to see if anything catches my interest, because again, by the title's name, I wanted to like this. Apocalypse Bringer Minogrom. Great concept, but the execution feels a little cheap and flat. Scooped up by an S-rank adventurer. So yeah, another kicked out of the hero's party anime, and it's painfully generic. Secrets of the Silent Witch. Man, I truly wanted to love this one. It's beautiful, but I'm not a fan of the MC, and there's just so much exposition. Grand Blue Season 2, and it sucks because I loved Season 1, but this one is just not hitting. Almost feels like the spark is gone. Couple of Cuckoos Season 2, yep, still messy, still underwhelming. Togen Anki. It tries so hard to be edgy but lacks any form of character depth, and I'm just not into it. Private tutor to the Duke's daughter, a bland harem, which, nothing special here. Betrothed to my sister's ex. Now, I love the first 2 episodes, but if I'm being real, there are just better romance anime out this season. City the animation. Now, hands up, beautiful hand-drawn 2D animation. However, I went in expecting the same level of comedy as Nichijou, but I wasn't getting it. For Ma's Kitchen. Now, this is a great combination of math and cuisine. However, ever since I watched Food Wars, it kind of ruined other cooking anime for me. Hotel Inhumans. Now hey, if you wanted an anime that's all about the Continental from John Wick and how they handled the menial task of assassins that come through, then yeah, you might like this one. Night of the Living Cat. So basically exchange zombies for cats, and that's basically the whole anime. Granted, it is funny and cute, but the gags got kind of old for me. Alright, now we're moving on to the bottom of the barrel, the shows that I dropped. Now look, I didn't drop these shows just because some of them had awful animation, others had weak or incoherent plots, a few of them were just flat out boring, or they just didn't click with me at all. And hey, sometimes I just wasn't the target audience, but for whatever reason, these didn't make the cut. So let's rapid fire through these and move on. New Saga, another bland isekai with a sword, a kingdom, and 0 personality. Rent a Girlfriend Season 4, knowing what happens in the manga just makes me not want to watch this even more. The Outcast Restaurant, fantasy food anime with no flavor. The Mikadono Sisters, pretty to look at, but not much else in the sense of substance. There's no freaking way I'll be your lover. I'm always down for a little Yuri action, but for some reason this was not holding my interest. Wataru-kun's ... Yeah, I'm not even gonna finish the title out of protest. The show is simply mid. The Shy Hero and the Assassin Princesses. The tropes are so tired that they're basically in hospice. Reborn as a Vending Machine Season 2. The gag was old last season, now it's expired. Ugly Mug, Epic Fighter. Basically, if the Ugly Bastard tag in H anime got isekai. Solo Camping for 2. Honestly, the female MC in this is just insufferable. Cultural Exchange with a Game Censor Girl. Honestly, a great premise that they just squandered away by having an adult interact with a child. Arknights Rise from the Embers. I'm not a gacha fan, so I haven't indulged in any of this series at all. Detectives these days are crazy. It's a fine show, but the comedy just wasn't hitting for me. Ruri Rocks. Definitely a pretty show to look at, and Nagi is easily the thickest character we've seen in a while. But ultimately, I'm not into rocks and geology, so yeah, not for me. Denkin no Mogura. I do not like this art style, and the story is pretty meh. April Showers Bring May Flowers. I know people love this one, but between the art style and just the story beats and the MC, it was just very bland and boring. Not for me. See You at the Food Court. Honestly, this one was viciously boring. 9 Ruler's Crown. So this one was kind of all over the place. If you didn't play the visual novel, you're probably not going to understand what's happening. Amisubaki City Under Construction. Not gonna lie, I was caught off guard by how violent the show actually was, but the mix of the CG and the whole idol storyline, not for me. Necronomicon and the Cosmic Horror Show. So definitely a pretty divisive art style. Either you're gonna like it or you're not. And spoiler alert, I obviously didn't like it. Let's Go Karaoke. A middle school boy and a Yakuza member form an unlikely friendship through the means of karaoke and singing. Wholesome, but not for me. Turkey. Bowling the Isekai. Harmony of Milfoy. Cute girls doing a cappella. Yeah, I'll pass. Now with all those out of the way, I would be remiss if I didn't give something to the Gunners specifically. That's Nukitashi the animation. Look, I had to include it. Nukitashi is pure unhinged degeneracy with surprisingly high quality animation. If you're down bad or just curious, it's genuinely something worth checking out. Plus, it's actually hilarious. And that wraps up my breakdown of the summer 2025 anime season. But again, this is just my list. My must-watches and drops are probably way different from yours. So by all means, I want to hear from you guys. What is it that you're watching? Did you find any hidden gems? Do you think anything on my list should be higher or lower? Either way, drop them in the comments and let's talk about it. Peace.